Welcome friends to this afternoon session. I am very happy to see all of you again. And the newcomers who have joined me now, most welcome. I have come here to perform a little seva for my master. Great Master Hazur Maharaj Baba Sawan Singh, whose photo you see here. People call him the Great Master. I call him the greatest master. People have come to me and said, he was not a master. He was not a perfect living master at all. People have come from many places to me. In the course of my life, people have tried to persuade me that you should look at the history of the spiritual path. That the spiritual path, the Radha Swami Mat, Sant Mat by Radha Swami, which was followed by your master, was started in Agra by Seth Sivdyal Singh, whom we call Swamiji. Swamiji very clearly, at the time of his passing away, named 4 people. He named 4 people who will carry on his work. And they said, in those 4 people, Baba Jamal Singh, my master's master, was not even mentioned. Therefore, the whole line is false. You are following a false line. People have come to me even from Agra to persuade me to leave this master who was not the real master and go to the real masters. They also tell me that after Seth Sivdyal Singh Ji Maharaj, Swamiji Maharaj, passed away, the lady who was married to him, whom they called Radha Ji, she is said to have told Baba Jamal Singh, okay, you go and work where you came from in Punjab. And that's the only authorization that Baba Jamal Singh had. Not only that, when Baba Jamal Singh started work here, they set up a council there in Agra and asked him to follow the instructions of the council. He disobeyed. He said, I will continue to do the work like I understood my master gave me. My master said, initiate people, tell them how to do Simran, repetition of words, tell them how to listen to the sound inside, how to do Dhyan or contemplation of the face of the master, a simple method of meditation. And my master told me 5 words to repeat, which I repeated. I asked my disciples to repeat. But the council said, this is not true. Sant Mat does not require 5 words. 2 are enough. Why are we going after 5 words? When he did not follow their lead, they fired him from the whole thing. They said, you are excommunicated from the Radha Swami faith. This is the history of my master's master. They tell me, how can you follow such a master? I said to them, and many have come to me, especially when I was holding high positions. I was Chief Secretary of a state government, I was Secretary of the central government, I was Development Commissioner for the industries for the country. When I was doing those works as a simple member of the Indian Administrative Service in this country, that was when they all came to me. They said that you are holding a high position, you should come and follow our masters. In fact, one group said, there is no master right now, and a dhar or a current that has to follow has not fallen on anybody yet. Therefore, maybe you are a good candidate for that, to become a master. They said, Dayal Singh Ji, Swami Ji, he appointed the most senior most official who was his disciple, Rai Saligram, who was Postmaster General of the UP state, UP province. And he picked up the right person because he knew that a person with a high position is the right person to convey the messages to everybody. And they said, you are in a bit better position than that. You will be a good candidate for that. And I told them that I have been initiated by Baba Sawan Singh, the greatest master, a perfect living master. They said, where is the basis for your saying the same thing again and again? I said, my basis is very different from what you are saying. You are looking at some lines of masters, you are looking at wills of masters, you are looking at what the master spoke. I said, I never knew Seth Shivdayal Singh. I was not even born. I did not even know Baba Jaimal Singh. I was not there. The only man I knew was Baba Sawan Singh, and he initiated me. He initiated me when I was very young. I was only 9.5 years old. I was initiated on 9th of March, 1936. Most of you were not even born then. And I thought it's a great thing what happened. My father, who was already initiated, was overjoyed. My grandfather had taken me to Baba Sawan Singh to get half initiation. He used to give to young children half initiation. He used to tell them how to close their ears and listen to sounds. When they grew up, could understand the path more, he would then give them the remaining half initiation, which was to how to repeat the Simran and do dhyan. I was taken by my grandfather for half initiation, but he gave me full initiation. I was happy, my father was happy. Shortly after I got initiated, a family of Satsangis of Baba Sawan Singh came to visit us. And my father said, see how lucky my son was. He got full initiation. And they said, we are very sorry to hear that. At this young age, you have forced him to have initiation. Now you wait and see what will happen to him. When he grows up, he will think over all this and realize he had no chance to examine what was given to him. He will react to it. He will leave this path and he will never follow this path. You wait and see. They said, don't you know the example of the other boy, Nicky? Now, who was Nicky? He was the son of another great follower of great master. And he was initiated when he was 11 years old. And when he grew up, he said, I have been forced by my father to get initiation. There is nothing in this path. It's all made up stories. Therefore he left. And he could never come back on the path. Even when he grew up, he became an attorney, became a lawyer, was practicing in Jalandhar. I used to meet him. He used to say, how can you be so stupid? Not to realize there is no evidence for what these masters are saying. How are you believing these masters? I said, your experience may be different than mine. But when those Satsangis who warned my parents that this boy has been misled into initiation at a young age, he should have grown up and then he would have understood what initiation is. When they heard this, when I was very young, I was listening to this conversation. I think my brain used to work better at that age. Now it is working now. It happened in old age. But I can remember, I very clearly remember, they may be right. What am I getting into? Just because my father is follower of a master, I am also following. Therefore, these people are right. I may turn out to be another Nicky. I may also be following something else. I said, why should I wait to grow up and say, this was not right? From today I am going to see if it's right or wrong, what the great master is saying. I am going to test it. As it happened, when great master initiated me along with others, he said some beautiful words. He said, what I am going to give you, I got from my master Baba Jaimal Singh. It has worked for me. I hope what you are getting will also work for you. If it does not, you are free to go and search for anything else. And if you find something better, he said, do me one favor. First follow yourself, the new path, whichever you can find. Do me one favor, come and tell me. That's what the great master said. I will also follow that. This was such an open statement that appealed to me, that he has given an open invitation. He has not said, oh, you are my initiate, now you can't go anywhere. As if I have got married to him and I am being unfaithful by going anywhere. He clarified right at the time of initiation, this is a choice you have. I have given you something, try it out. If it works, very good. It has worked for me. If it works for you, good. If it doesn't, find whatever you can. I took it very seriously and I began to search all over. I got into different religions to start with. I got converted to Islam. By that time I was in college. I went and attended the mosque. I did the mass. I followed their path, read the whole of the Quran, did the kalma, followed them, did other rituals of theirs. I found they were all rituals. Everything was external, where he had said, find the truth inside. They were too much of outside. I was baptized into Christianity. I had a big dip in a Catholic church, in a water, baptized, tried to find out what they were talking about, Jesus Christ's teachings. I tried to follow those teachings. Spent quite a bit of time on that. I found they were all doing the same thing. Far more of external ceremonies and rituals. Hardly anybody saying, go within. Jesus Christ said that. He said the kingdom of God is within you. He said everything has to be found inside. And they were telling us what to do outside. So obviously after trials I found that this religion did not help. I tried other forms also which were available. Then I said, no, yoga is the answer. The yogis do all kinds of yoga and I should try that. So I went to the yogis, one after the other, and learnt all kinds of Kundalini yoga and various kinds of other yoga, how to reverse for engineering, how to follow straight on different kinds of food and things, substances to eat, just to get something inside. And nothing really happened, very little. It appeared that the whole attention of the yogis was how to increase your ability to use the energy centers that lie below the eyes. How you can work on the 6 centers of energy below. The 6 chakras were all they were talking about. And crown chakra, from where you can escape from the body. Tried everything. That was not what I was looking for at all. None of them were telling me that you can go within and first discover who you are. Before you discover the energy centers, first know who you are. None of them told me a way to find out who I am. In reality, my search was, if I am not the body, if I am not even my sense perceptions, if I am not even my mind, if my thinking is also not me, who am I? And none of the yoga teachers could teach me who am I beyond these. I went to many other masters. All they told me how to control my mind, how to start thinking in a different way. Many of them said how to become a better human being, how to serve people better. Everything happened. It took me 8-9 years to find that nobody had really told me something better than what Baba Sawal Singh had told me. I went back to him. I said, Maharaj Ji, I have tried everything according to your orders. You said try to find something better. I could not find anything better. Therefore I have come back. I want to try what you are now saying seriously. I want to try seriously what you are telling me. You say we should spend 1/10 of our time in meditation. Simple, very small part of time. Out of 24 hours, just spend 2.5 hours. 10%. Out of our net income, give 10% in charity. Do seva. I like the ideas, but the whole thing was, how can we find who am I? That answer was not being given at all. Till I found that meditation he gave me was not to succeed in meditation, but to fail in meditation. Very surprising that he is encouraging me to do something to fail. I was not the only one where he experimented like that. There was an even better case. There was one follower of his. He used to be an official in a state, Kapurthala state, next to the Dera. His name was Diwan Daryai Lal. Diwan Daryai Lal was finance minister of the state. At one time the chief justice of the state. Small state, he held very high-ranking offices. And he became a disciple of Great Master. He also got through some relationship close to me, and I used to discuss a lot of things with him. And he said, real thing is meditation, which we have not done enough. I said, I did try a lot. At one time, one long session of 8 hours. I will not stop till I find. I found nothing in 8 hours of meditation. I got so tired, but I kept on sitting. All my attention was on the clock, on the watch. How long can I sit? It was just obstinacy, adamancy. I said, I tried that, didn't work. He said, no, we haven't done enough meditation. We are supposed to do 2.5 hours every day, and we are spending very little time. So he got a chance. When Great Master, who used to go to a hill station in the summer, Dalhousie, one year Great Master decided not to go. And Diwan Daryai Lal went up to Great Master and he said, Master, I understand you are not going to Dalhousie this year. Can you give me the keys of your house? That's a blessed house where you live in the mountains. I want to go there and catch up on the time I have lost in not doing meditation. I want to complete my meditation, doing day and night. I'll do nothing but meditation. Day and night I'll do Simran, I will do listen to the Shabad, and I'll think of you. Whatever rules you have laid down for meditation, I will follow day and night and catch up for the missing time. Great Master smiled and said, here are the keys. So Diwan Daryai Lal went to Dalhousie. And as soon as he went and he opened the house with great anticipation, I am going to do great meditation. Some plumbers came and said, we were waiting somebody to open the house so we can repair the bathroom and so on. There was noise all the time. He tried very hard. He could hardly do any meditation. The harder he tried, the more he could not do it. He spent 3 months trying it and came back to the Dera and said, Great Master, here are keys. I failed. I could not do meditation. Great Master laughed. He said, Daryai Lal, you did not fail, you passed. You passed, you discovered meditation is not the way. That's big news for him and for me. I thought meditation is the way. That's all we need to do is meditation. And here is great master saying meditation is not the way. Then why are I teaching you to do meditation? And he explained beautifully. He said meditation is for our mind, not for the soul. Soul does not need any meditation. Soul's longing for its true home is always there. The only thing that is interrupting that longing is our own mind. Meditation is to take care of that mind. Because the mind loves to say, I need to do something to get something. The mind can never believe that the answer to what I should do is do nothing. Never accept it. I have to do something to get something. We can't get anything in this world without struggling, without working for it. How can I get something spiritual without working? Therefore, great master said, the more elaborate the techniques of meditation, the more the mind loves it. Therefore, we give meditation to the mind so that it can go and verify. It always looking for proof. Is there something there? Okay, meditate. Sometimes you'll see some light inside. Sometimes you may vacate the body. Sometimes you may be able to fly in the sky. You can do all those things and never discover who you are. That is why he said, this is not the real spiritual path. Meditation is for the mind. Then what is there for the soul? We are trying to find who our soul is, and meditation cannot give us the soul. Then what can give us the soul? Great master said, how do you find a master? First thing, how do you know that there is another human being just like yourself, no different, and that person is the master? Where is the test? Do you see him because he is wearing a particular kind of clothes? Orange colored, saffron colored, white colored, black colored. Do you think he is wearing any special marks on his forehead? Do you see if he has a big ashram or a big place to go to? If you are looking for these signs, you will never find a perfect living master. These are not the signs of a perfect living master, because these are signs to show people I've got something. When you want to show people you have got something, it's a sign of one's own ego. It's the mind speaking up, not the soul. How does a soul speak? There must be some way the soul communicates with us. All speech comes from the mind. Soul does not need any speech. What does soul want? Soul wants what all of us sitting here, all of us all around the world are wanting: to love and to be loved. That's what the soul wants. Soul is not interested in anything else. Soul only wants love. That's it. When you find a human being, ordinary human being, as ordinary as possible, pulling you with a love which your mind cannot explain to you, that could be possibly a perfect living master. A master pulls you with his love. And if you happen to associate with that person, you will find that the love is so compelling because it is totally unconditional. A perfect living master will never judge how good or bad we are. He will never say, be good and I will tell you something. He knows our goodness and badness is because of our own karma. He knows we are the victims of our karma. He is not come to judge our karma. He is come to judge, are we seeking the truth? Are we seeking to find out who we are? Are we seeking to find out where we really belong? Have those kind of thoughts and seekings come inside us? If they have, he will appear in our life. We cannot find him. is too ordinary to be found. Therefore, great master said, the soul seeks love. And when the soul is ready to separate itself from the mind, from the body, from this world, when it recovers to a point where it says, this is not my place, when those kinds of thoughts come, those kinds of seekings inside come, a perfect living master automatically appears in the life of that person. You cannot find him. Of course, I had heard earlier the Indian phrase, when a chela is ready, Guru appears. Nowhere did they say when a chela is ready, he will find a Guru. A Guru appears. And he confirmed that that is exactly what happens. And no matter where you are living on this planet, if your seeking is there and you are looking for that kind of love, he'll appear. We are searching that pure love in this world. We are seeking that love from fellow people, other people from here. And we find when we are thinking of love with the people, the mind is evaluating, what can I get out of it? It's all a conditional love. Conditions are being imposed even when we talk of love between people here. Whereas when we experience the love of a perfect living master, we discover there is absolutely no condition at all. That love pulls us. Mind fights it. Mind fights. How can you be sure? Mind questions. But the love keeps on pulling. There was a professor who came to great master. He became a good friend of my father, then became friend of mine. Professor came to tell great master that you are misleading the people by initiating them. I remember, very intellectual professor, he came to great master in the early days. I was very young. He said, Master, why are you misleading people and telling them there is a Sachkhand? Nobody has ever seen a Sachkhand. No evidence is there, no proof is there. Why are you misleading people? Please, I have come to ask you, please stop this nonsense that you are doing and tell them to become good human beings, serve other people, do something good here. There is no other place to go to. Great master said, Professor Saab, I appreciate your ideas. I appreciate your comments. It is based on your experience. My experience is different. We have a right to have different experiences, and therefore I am doing something based on my experience, but I appreciate your honesty. Thank you very much. Next Sunday, the professor is back again to tell the great master same thing. He said, Master, I have come to tell you that what you are doing is really morally wrong. Because you are teaching people something for which there is no proof, no evidence. Tell us how many people have seen where is Sachkhand? We are just talking about it. There is no Sachkhand, there is no such thing. There are no higher planes of consciousness. It's all here. We are born, we live a life, we die. No evidence exists. Please don't please mislead these young people. They are very believer people. They believe your word. Please, this is not good seva for them. Great master said, Professor Saab, you came last week also and told me the same thing. I told you that our experiences are different. You haven't experienced what I have experienced, so I am going by my experience. You are going with yours. But I appreciate your honesty to come and tell this thing. Professor went away. Next Sunday he was back again to tell the same thing. Great master said, Professor Saab, it's the third time you have come to tell me the same thing. But you told me already twice that we have explained to each other we can disagree based on our experiences. Why have you come again? He said, Master, I don't know, but someone want to come and see you again and again. The man whose mind was convinced not to go, not to believe, kept on coming and later on became one of the finest disciples of the great master. Why I am bringing this story is that the mind fights. Mind is designed to create doubt. It's a very good thing. To have a doubt is not a bad thing. If you have no doubt, anybody tell you anything, you'll believe it. You'll never have any time to screen, to check anything. Doubt gives you a chance. Skepticism gives you a chance to check. It's a good screen to check what you're getting. Check once, check twice, check thrice. It's a very good thing. The mind, if we use the mind, is a very useful thing. So that is why the great master said that no matter how hard the mind tries, a perfect living master, when he appears in your life, the love you experience from him pulls you in a certain way that even the mind cannot stop it in spite of its doubts. Why is the love of a perfect living master so different from the love we experience in this world? Because it is totally non-judgmental, totally unconditional. If you love a master, he loves you. If you hate the master, he will love you. If you kill the master, he will love you. That's the nature of a perfect living master's love. We get provoked very easily by small little things. Somebody does not agree with us, we get angry. Perfect living masters cannot get provoked into anger no matter how hard you try. There are so many things that happen when you are coming across them. So I told those people who had come from there, I don't know Swamiji, I don't know Baba Jamal Singh, haven't read any will of anybody. All I know that when I returned to this man Baba Sawan Singh, what he promised he delivered. That's my only evidence. He promised something and it came to pass. I have no other need. I don't have to go anywhere. I had experiences with several masters. Then they came to me. First I was running after them, then they came to me to tell me the truth. And I had to tell them that what you are saying falls short of what I have got from Great Master. Great Master proved to the hilt that the path to the spiritual journey that we to make to our destination, Sachkhand, is love and devotion. That's all. If you can respond to the unconditional love of a perfect living master, your journey is complete. Meditation you can keep on doing for your mind. It's a very important disclosure because mind constantly wants to say, what can I do? Okay, meditate more. Do 2.5 hours. Don't do this, don't eat that. Very nice paraphernalia is presented to us, so we think that is spirituality. Spirituality is none of these things. Spirituality is to experience the pure unconditional love of a perfect living master and automatically respond to it by devotion. Love and devotion. Prem or bhakti. Paltu Sahib, great master, he said, Sahib ke darbar mein keval prem bhakt. In the Lord's chamber, in the Lord's court, nothing else counts but love and devotion. That's the whole secret. There was another friend of mine in Ludhiana. He had a factory, a foundry actually, and I can tell you his name because he's passed away now. His name was Hira Singh. Hira Singh and I were initiated by the same master. After retirement from my job, I went to America. I went to America because first of all I got an opportunity to work there. I went to study there first in a university, got good chance, but more because I had heard the great master saying that in course of time, the spiritual traditions that have lasted so long in the East, in India and China, they will move to the West, and particularly in the United States of America. He used to tell these things to an American disciple of his whose name was Julian Johnson, Dr. Julian Johnson. And he used to say, Julian Johnson, you have come here not merely to get enlightened yourself, but you have come from America, which has become a country of great spirituality. In time you will see that America, which has been struggling to make more money, which was constantly trying to make more money, is going to go down in the affluence, in the economy, and rise in their spiritual journeys. India and China, which have a great tradition of spirituality, will start slowly and slowly make rituals out of spirituality and go to make more money, more factories, more affluence. This shift is going to take place. These were bachans of great master, and I see them happening right now. I can clearly see that this trend is going on right now. I wanted to go to America, and I got a good opportunity to go take a ringside seat to see this show, how it will transfer there, which I am doing now. I am looking at it, how it is happening. So that's why I went there. So Julian Johnson was told this will happen. But the most important thing that we see is that the love and devotion, which is a secret, is coming up more in America. What is the devotion about? People ask me, how can we become more devoted to the Master? I said, you don't have to try to be devoted. Experience is love more. Devotion is automatic. Devotion is a response to love. You become devotees automatically. Bhakti does not come by trying to be a bhagat. Bhakti comes when you are experiencing love, and the response is bhakti. Devotion is automatic. Love and devotion go together. That is why. You experience love, you become a devotee. That is why when you have a perfect living master who gives you the real reason, what can we do? What lesson can we learn from all the stories I am telling you? I have told you a lot of this history about my own self and my relationship with Great Master. What have I learned from it? I have learned most important thing on the spiritual path, love and devotion. Therefore, where should we use love and devotion if that is the most important path? Everywhere. Start with meditation. Do your meditation with love and devotion. I was telling this story of Hira Singh of Ludhiana. I'll conclude by telling you the true story of Hira Singh. We were both initiated by the same master. I went to America. I brought an American disciple, a friend of mine, to India. Took him to the Dera, showed where we used to play, where we used to have got naam, where the satsang used to be held. It's all changed now. And where there used to be a small little well. There used to be a well, and the bullocks used to run around to draw the water. Little small storage of tank was there. We used to go, the little tutis, we used to drink water from there. And then people began to call it nectar and so on, so they had to close it down. But I remember in those days, an American friend had come, Julian Johnson's friend had come from America. I was showing him also that well. And I was telling my friend the same story, that when we came to the Dera and he saw the bullock going around, and the bullock by movement would pull up the pulleys and they would bring the water up and drop into the tank. The bullock's eyes were closed. They were covered eyes. So the American friend said, why have you covered the eyes of the bullock? So the man who was in charge of the well in the Dera, he said, because if we don't cover his eyes, he will find out he's only going round and round the same place. He will stop. So now he thinks he's going home. So that is why we put blinders. He said that is how people are put blinders here. We are getting blinders. So we work in this world thinking we are going home. And we stay where we are. So he gave an example of the bullock. Then the bullock was wearing a little garland with bells in it. So when he would go around and move, the bells would ring, ting, ting, ting. And that American guy said, "Why have you put the bell around his?" And the man said, "When I get tired, I sometimes go in this little hut, and when I can hear the bell, I know that he is going round and round. If he stops, the bell stops, I come out and make him move again." And that American man thought over it. He said, I had to translate for him. He said, "What happens if the bullock stops and keeps shaking his head and you keep sleeping inside?" The man gave a good answer. He says, "Sir, my bullock is not a philosopher." I told these stories to my friend who was from America, and then I took him to Hira Singh's house in Ludhiana. And I met people, friends, after a long time. They asked me more questions. How is America? How are American Satsangis doing? And you have come here after a long time. And some of them began to ask some spiritual questions, like they are asking me today. And from my long experience with Great Master, I try to give the best answers I can. So, Hira Singh was listening to me giving answers to a few persons. So he told me, "Mr. Ishwar Puri, you are giving answer to everybody. Can I ask you a question?" I, Hira Singh, "Certainly. You are my old colleague, my old friend." He said, "I want to know that you and I were initiated at the same time, 40 years ago. And I have done my meditation regularly, 2.5 hours, with an alarm clock. Never missed it. I have followed the diet, pure vegetarian, no exception, since I was initiated. I have led a very moral life. I have been very careful. I follow the instructions of my Guru completely. After 40 years, I have had no such experiences, and you talk as if you have got something. I don't know what you have, but the way you can give answer to questions means you got something out of it. Why so much discrimination? If I have followed the Guru's instructions fully, and I have got nothing, I don't know about you, but you seem to have got something, why this discrimination?" I said, "I want to tell you a secret today, Hira Singh. When I give answers to people's questions, they are not my answers. People think I am giving an answer. The truth is, I check with my master inside. I ask Great Master Baba Sawan Singh, this is a question of this person. What answer should I give? Whatever answer he says, I give them. And it's always correct because the master is giving answer, not me." He said, "Can you put my question also to our master, Baba Sawan Singh, since you can talk to him inside? My question is, why discrimination when I followed the instructions fully?" I said, "I will certainly put this question." And he said, "Oh, you want to sit inside for that?" I said, No, I don't have to sit anywhere. But he's a busy master, you know, and he doesn't have time all the time to give answers. An important question like that takes time. He said, "How long will it take to get an answer?" I said, "Such an important question take about 6 months." He said, "I can't take 6 months." I said, "No, that takes 6 months. I am going back to America. When I come back, I'll get you the answer." I went back to America. Next visit was after 6 months. I went to Hira Singh. Hira Singh got the answer. First thing he asked Master was, "Why did you wait to ask this question when you were meeting the Great Master? You were meeting many other masters. In fact, there was another master having satsang in his lawn in his house when we met him with the American disciple. You have met so many masters, including Great Master. Why didn't you ask them?" He said, "I asked Great Master." He smiled and he said, "Keep doing your meditation with love and devotion." Other masters said the same thing. "So I'm waiting for the answer from you." I said, "Got the answer. What is the answer? I say, great master says, tell Hira Singh, keep doing your meditation with love and devotion. Same answer he gave you 40 years ago, 30 years ago. He said, but that's what I was doing. He said, not really. What you are doing is, keep doing your meditation, stop. Not with love and devotion. You did not put any love and devotion, it was all mechanical. 2.5 hours, repeating like a parrot, in my mind, doing nothing, sleeping halfway, thinking of the whole world all the time. 40 years, same thing. This is not what is expected. This is not what great master told you then. This is not what he told you now. Try now. From today, I am going to come and check up what happens after 6 months. I said, when you meditate, don't start with your own self. Start with the master, the one you love, the one whose love you are experiencing. If you want to do meditation with love and devotion, first think of the master. Talk to him. He initiated you. He's sitting inside you. You can't see him. But do you believe he's inside? I do believe, but I haven't seen him. But what good of belief then if you haven't seen him? See him inside. How can I see a person who is dead? The master is dead. How can I see him inside? I said, do you remember seeing him? Of course I remember. I attended so many satsangs. Can you remember even one time how he looked like? What he was doing? Not picture, not a photo. What you actually remember seeing him? He said, yes, I can remember very well. I said, close your eyes, remember him, and tell him whether you love him or not, whether you feel his love or not. That's the beginning of your meditation. Then, to quieten your mind, do the mental meditation, repeat the words. If sound comes, listen to the sound, spend time. But continue to remember the master. If you remember the master with love and devotion, your meditation is successful. Without love and devotion, it's a mechanical exercise. I said, I'm going to check in 6 months. I came back in 6 months. He had made more progress and gone within different levels of consciousness, different levels of insight experiences. In 6 months, what he could not get in 40 years. So why I'm emphasizing is that meditation is not a mechanical thing. It's a relationship with your master. He's sitting inside. You can't see him. Don't worry. Remember him. Have you seen him outside? Yes. Can you remember what he looked like? Can you remember how you saw him? Did you see him walking? Did you see him sitting? Did you see him talking? Do you remember even one word of his voice? Remember that. And then do any other kind of meditation. What will take you will not be the meditation, but the love that you can experience with your master. So I wanted to share these stories with you to tell you the importance of doing your meditation from day one with love and devotion. I'll be very happy now to meet some newcomers who have come for personal interviews, and I'll be here again tomorrow 11 o'clock to meet another batch of newcomers and some old friends who are also, I noticed, sitting here. Thank you very much.